Hi everyone, welcome to everyone who joining us today live. Today we are welcoming you to the DGI Impact Selection Day that is taking place here at Talent Garden Raymaking in Copenhagen, at the heart of the tech ecosystem. My name is Rasa, I'm part of the founding team at Talent Garden, and today I'm going to be your host. So during the last months, together with DGI, we actually actively worked and scouted the entire European continent to find those promising sports tech startups and select the 9 finalists that are going to be announced and presented today. A little bit about the agenda and what are we going to have at this event. So today we are going to have a welcome word from Jakob, who is joining us from DGI. Then we are going to have a really interesting panel discussion together with 2 experts joining us here at the studio. We are going to meet all the 9 finalists who have been selected for this competition. And of course, then we are going straight to the winner announcements and the closing remarks. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce Jakob Braden from DGI, who is leading this project. Welcome, Jakob.
Thank you, Rasa. Yes, hi, and again, welcome. This is the 3rd annual selection day in DGI Impact, and I am, as you mentioned, Jakob, the program manager in DGI Impact. In DGI overall, we work to encourage and enable even more people in Denmark to live a physically active lifestyle in strong, healthy communities. That's the main essence of DGI. We have 6,300, actually even more than that, sports clubs, sports associations in DGI. They cover more than 1.6 million members in Denmark and 100,000 volunteers, making it all possible. All of this is split into 14 regional subdivisions. They cover almost all sports you can imagine, from petang to e-sport and more or less everything in between. As you can probably imagine, DGI is quite the broad organization with quite a lot of different projects, programs, concepts, a wide range of focus areas. And that's one of the main reasons we've invited startups to join us in our main mission in DGI. Now a bit about DGI Impact and what that's all about. It's a startup accelerator program focused on startups that can create value for sport associations and their members in Denmark. We also want to create value, of course, for the many other organizations that we work with in DGI in order to do one main thing, and that's make Denmark the most active sports nation in the world. We offer the chosen startups that you'll get to meet later on when we announce them funding between 100 and 500,000 Danish kroners. We give them access to experts in DGI in more or less whatever field they act in, even if it's a demographic group or whatever they focus on in order to make more people active in Denmark. We give them contact to customers. Remember, we have 1.6 million members. We give general guidance within entrepreneurship in Denmark, of course, with the main focus, but also in the Nordics. And we give them exposure through our different channels. All of this combined is where we attempt to create the infamous win-win-win, even though I've never really been that big a fan of that somewhat overused statement. The startups obviously get support, that's one win. The associations and their members get influence on the final products, and they actually get to use them as some of the first users, and they even get discounted prices if they don't get it for free. We in DGI, we get innovative products that we can push out to the associations so they can actually, improve and give it to their members, of course, which should create even more happy members. And that kind of makes, simply put, even more people in Denmark physically active. So even though this is going to be even worse than the win-win-win, I kind of guess we're trying to create a win-win-win-win. Now a little bit about the process that led us here. We opened applications back in August. This especially focused on solutions that help associations and their members in these tricky pandemic times. And of course help them get members back when we some happy day get back to a somewhat hopefully normal day. Within 2 months after opening the applications back in August, we received 136 applications from 26 different countries, all interested in that common very goal of DGI, of enabling and encouraging more people in Denmark to live a physically active life. The applications have afterwards been screened by 25 internal DGI experts who are experts in whatever sport, whatever focus area, demographic, whatever it may be, that the startup had a solution for. This resulted in 9 innovative startups who's been pitching in front of our great jury today. A jury consisting of serial inventors, serial investors, serial entrepreneurs, experienced mentors, IT experts, experienced entrepreneurs, strategic leaders, board members, coaches, associate professors, CEOs, authors, and of course DGI experts, even though this jury group is just 5 people. And now we're getting quite close to starting what most of you are waiting for out there. The short presentations of the finalists.
Jakob, thank you so much for this great opening word, and what an amazing competition that you actually managed to put together. So I think that with no further ado, let's meet those first finalists and look at them.
Hello, my name is Andreas and this is Anders. We come from the digital platform Bubble Bear.
We see that the associations are great at creating activities that promote sport-active communities. Unfortunately, not all associations are equally good at showing their offerings to new users.
At Bubble Bear, we currently have more than 300,000 members. looking to find new communities to be a part of.
And we therefore see a great potential in linking our members with the offers from the sports associations.
Hey guys, I'm Vicente, co-founder of Gaming Buddy. We've created a social media platform dedicated for gamers. Now, we found that gamers, instead of gaming, were actually wasting so much time on forums, groups, subreddits, looking for others to play with, often finding people they didn't share similar interests with. Now, we've created a matchmaking algorithm that connects like-minded gamers, not only on the basis of the games that they play, but also age, language, humor, and much more. All to ensure non-toxic relationships and the best possible gaming experience for everyone.
The public space is full of opportunities for play and casual sports, but it's only half a solution. What good is a basketball court if you don't have a ball? Spontaneous play is impossible. That's where Hopster comes in. Hopster provides the equipment to play 26 different sports available on site, right where you need it. We are ready to activate local communities and make sports available for anybody, anytime and anywhere. Thank you.
My name is Jack,
And I'm Lars.
and we are the founders of IR Squad. Evotag is real-life gaming. We take the experience from Fortnite and Counter-Strike and bring it into real life. It's gaming, but with fresh air, sunlight, high pulse and adrenaline.
The first esports clubs and schools have already bought Evotag as a natural choice for bringing physical exercise into their esport training. Let us keep Denmark active, outdoors while maintaining a safe distance.
Hi, my name's James and I'm from Moki. Moki is the physical activity tracker for schools. We launched it a year ago with help from DGI, and in that time we've seen hundreds of schools amass more than 500 million steps. It's been a pretty incredible year for us, but with only one problem. In order to use Moki, you need a Moki band. But what if that wasn't the case? What if anyone with a mobile phone or a popular fitness tracker, like a Garmin or Fitbit, could use Moki as well? And that's what we'd like to do. With support from DGI Impact this year, we'd like to develop integrations for the major platforms so that anyone with an iOS phone, an Android phone, Fitbit or Garmin device could actually participate in Moki and make it even bigger and better and more useful. Thank you.
Everyone, so here we met the first round of our finalists, and before meeting the rest, I think we should spend some quality time to look into the status quo and the future of sports community. And to do so, I have two special guests today in the studio at Talent Garden Rainmaking joining me, and I would like to introduce Peter Holm, who is the CEO and co-founder of Tonser, entrepreneur himself, and Peter Nedegaard, who is an early-stage investor and also a board member at DGI. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really great to have you here, and today we are going to have around 20 minutes to look into the status quo of the sports and sports tech community today, a little bit about the challenges and all the trends that happened in this extraordinary 2020, because that definitely changed the behavior of the community, I guess. And of course, to also think what would be the best advice we could give to those future entrepreneurs who are now watching us live and perhaps would like to innovate this vertical. So maybe let's start by looking into what do we have today. So for all those enthusiasts watching us live for this event, how would you define the sports tech community and the sports tech vertical, and what would you say is the vision of it for you?
Yeah, I can go first.
Go ahead, Peter.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting because it's a vertical that's constantly changing dramatically this year. Many agendas have been accelerated. So even the sports tech as a vertical didn't exist until maybe 5 years ago. So when we started Tonsa, which was 6 years ago, it didn't exist. So just in that short space of time, it's already been changing quite a lot. But for me, in terms of what it means, how I like to focus on it is looking at sports tech. It should be enforcing us humans to play. That's the most important thing for me. So it's to play more, play better, and play together. That's how I would like to see it.
That sounds amazing. And Peter, you are investing also yourself, and how do you define the sports tech vertical, and what's the ambition in there?
I very much agree with Peter on this, and this has been changing a lot for the last 5 years. I think what I would invest in today, and what I see from DGI, is that sport tech solutions that solve real day problems for the sports communities is where I would invest in, and where I think we would see the biggest improvements in how sports clubs actually survive from a day-to-day basis. And I agree also with Peter that what we have seen with COVID-19 in this year is the solutions that can, in so many ways, help sports club actually being able to do anything in the corona situations we have today will survive and will help these clubs tremendously. And these would also be sports tech that I would be looking in as an investor.
Yeah, and about the DGI, because the community is definitely at the core at DGI, right? And zooming in on Denmark specifically, where do you see the sports and sports tech community and the whole innovation in sports moving towards here?
It's interesting because as far as I see it, these years we see sports club who are very much into sports tech and have taking tech into the solutions that they have in the clubs already, and then we have a lot of clubs who doesn't, and who really don't think tech as a part of their daily solutions, but something that, maybe they have a spreadsheet program or email program or whatever in their daily administration use, but they do not think tech as a part of what they offer their members. And I think that in the coming years we will see that change, and in the clubs and the communities that will survive in the years to come, these will be the clubs that are front runners with regard to communication with their members, who have solutions that it makes it possible to create new communities, and solutions that would make it possible for me to actually do my exercises on a daily basis and on the time that I want. Not necessarily always have to be from 4 to 5 in the afternoon.
And Peter, when you started your venture, your company, you were one of the frontiers in this vertical, right? Because it just started growing in the market. So what have you seen changing in those last years, and what was your journey?
Wow, yeah, I don't want to spoil all the time when talking about that. You don't want to give that question to an entrepreneur. He just never stopped talking about himself. But if I have to relate it to of course to where we are today in terms of sports tech and our journey, it's been that it's really been amazing to experience happenings like the one today. The fact that DGI as an organization comes in to fund the next generation of startups and entrepreneurs projects is just fantastic to see. That did not happen 5 years ago. It also didn't happen in other industries because what we need is, as an example, right now, NASA and SpaceX just put people into space together. I think that's really a good indication of where organizations and startups have come to.
Yeah.
We are not close. We're not quite there in sports tech yet, but I think today is a good indication of where we are and what path we're on of working much stronger together in startups, innovation, disruption, and then together with the organization. When we started, we saw a more hostile, almost frontier against us, because many people were defending their own organizations and maybe businesses. I think that is probably the thing that has changed the most.
Yeah, and you mentioned like innovation and disruption. So now if you're zooming out from the Danish context into the Nordic context, what new solutions have you seen being created in the past 6-12 months?
Oh yeah, for me it's actually a little bit too early to say yet, and I think it also reflects a little bit the situation today and the startups that has been applied yet. None of them are started because of Corona. They've been trying to adapt to Corona and the situation, the pandemic that we have seen. And I don't really believe that we should expect too many companies in sports tech to have been created under Corona simply because it's so difficult circumstances. Yeah. But what I will expect is both people adapting to what is now and what will come afterwards. And then also, of course, new ideas coming from this, because I see sports going as the rest of us, as how we work and everything is, going more remote. So it will be very interesting to see how that will be deployed across existing sports, but also new sports.
Yeah, exactly. Like remote is becoming an interesting thing when it comes to sports communities, because sports communities is very much also about physical participation and about being together and sharing the space. From the investment perspective, let's look into that. And Peter, like here, what's your opinion? So if you look into the sports tech and sports community globally, like media, content-related platform, esports, and measurement platforms for data, analytics, and biometrics were among the top areas when it comes to investment. So here also, like personally, since you're also investing into companies, like what's in your interest and what's in DGI interest when it comes to collaborating and supporting new startups? Are there any specific?
Yeah, they could be different approaches, because as I see it today from a DGI perspective, as I said before, this is more about solving real problems today and not necessarily focusing on what will happen tomorrow. But an interesting thing, as you talked with Peter about before, is that what we see today also from a tech point of view is that the ability to actually create solution that makes it possible for us to do some exercises together, even though we are not physically together, is some of the things that we have seen grown a lot, of course, during the pandemic. And I think that is actually something that has come also to be a part of our future, even a future without pandemic. Namely, the idea about being able to do something together, which does not necessarily mean that we have to be physically together. So, and this is also some of the things we have seen in the startup scene for those applicants to this program, is that, okay, can they support a platform that it makes it possible for you to actually do something together, even if you're not physically in the same room, but you can do virtual running is some of the bigger things that I think we will see in the future in Denmark and the Nordics, because people want to do something together, even if it's not possible to 10,000 people or 20,000 people to do a half marathon. Then we do it virtually, we do it in different places, but at the same time. These are some of the things that I think we will see more of in the future.
Yeah, and Peter, you're an entrepreneur yourself. Of course, you're running Tonster now for 6 years, almost 6 years. But what gaps are you seeing in the sports community when it comes to Denmark? What are those unfulfilled needs at the moment?
Oh, yeah, it's very interesting. I've been thinking a lot about this also for the last months, of saying, okay, trying to predict the future a little bit.
Venture.
And just to understand the behavior, because I think behavior drives everything. Our behavior as humans will drive everything, and that's what we need to analyze and understand, and then build products from that. It's not to try to just come up with an idea of how it is. It's really trying to understand how we as humans adapts, and not the other way around. So, the biggest thing we've seen so far to what we talked about remote is clearly the whole home training field, and it's what has made the sports tech become vertical that has gained more investments now than ever. So this has been even because of it's in a year of a pandemic. 2020 has been a strong year for sports tech in terms of global interest awareness from investors, which is good. In terms of Denmark, I think our advantage is that we are a pocket. We are a pocket slice of the world where we really don't have any limitations. And so how I prefer us to think in Denmark is as our backyard. So what we in Denmark should try and think of is how can we make something work here first and foremost, and then scale it to the rest of the world from the values of Denmark, which I think is one of our strengths.
Yeah, because at the end I think it's a great sample. It is, like, percentage-wise, a very, very active nation.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we touched a little bit the topic around the pandemic, and of course, like, it's always like a big topic in the discussions because it redefined our estimated trends quite a bit. Nobody has planned on it. But if we are looking into the trends of the sports community and the impact of everything going digital in 2020. So, like, for me, what's interesting, like, still I see sports very much built around the participation. And like spending time physically most of the time. Now it's going into e-activities and VR and like a digital participation. So for the last few years, there have been like lots of developments around the fan engagement technologies, including like live streaming and esports. What do you think are going to be those like core verticals and the impact areas specifically in the next 12 months?
I think you actually almost said it yourself. I think you almost said the answer to the question, because I think the answer is verticals. I'm not a big fan of Facebook. I'm not a big fan of these massive social media that is wasting our time and just providing dopamine rushes and not really doing anything other than taking our time. And it seems like this was the year we realized that as consumers. And finally, and there will be, I imagine, creating many more vertical communities, and we've seen some great examples of that actually being here today, which I'm really happy to see. And I believe that we as consumers will be drawn much more to our passion, drawn much more to purpose, and actually into verticals that really is where we would like to invest our time. So I expect to see more vertical communities popping up within different type of sports and activities, and actually areas that people are really interested in.
Build upon that from a DGI perspective. I think one of the very interesting things we have seen this year is that we have more than 6,300 sports club just in Denmark, more than 1.6 million members. All of those sports clubs, what have they been doing in the last 6 to 8 months? They have been struggling about how do they communicate with their members, how do they do like relevant exercises for their members, how do they create communities in a new way. And I think all of that experience that are out in 6,300 sports club, this is also interesting information for all of the sports techs working in this area, saying that, okay, they have like first-hand experience in what will work towards our members and what will not work. Then call it fans or call it member or whatever. I think we will see a lot of new verticals in this area, and the sports clubs who are aware of this and build upon that will be the sports clubs that survive in the long run.
Yeah, what's interesting for me to look into this and like communication, engagement, and participation, especially when we are moving digital, it's not only that it's difficult like to find the platform and the way to communicate, but also how do we keep people within those routines? Yeah. It's still very different than having a physical routine of going and participating and doing things. So any thoughts on that, of like what should be at the core of the communication, or how to keep those people engaged?
I think from a member perspective and also from a sports club perspective is that the traditional way that we look at a membership in a sports club as a member is that, okay, you pay your fee maybe 4 times a year and that's it. But what we really are looking into here is that I as a member, I would be looking for like more flexible membership in the future, meaning that if I want to have primarily my exercises done remotely, or virtually or whatever, that would demand a new kind of membership. Or do I want to actually go, and the Danes want to do that, to actually meet with other people? So that maybe is another membership. I think the members in the future, and that would demand new technology solutions, would demand like more flexible membership, and that always will demand new capabilities in the systems that had to support that.
Yeah, I think there is also like a huge element of personalization, what you were mentioning about different layers of membership, and because again, like if you're going digital and it's like very much about the individualism, we'll be able to satisfy those like very vertical personal needs.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think on the other hand, in order for us to make sure we keep participation up, because we are not, I primarily work with football, and in majority of countries in the Western world, we are seeing dropping participation for the last 6-7 years, so it's no news. We need to concentrate more on it, and by that I mean in the younger audience, up until 19. I think we need to consider some of the formats. Maybe it's not the right thing that we need to play 90 minutes of football match. Maybe that needs to be changed in order to make sure that young people actually think it's fun and it's motivating for everybody. Because we've seen, of course, a new wave of new type of sports, especially from esports, where you get instant rewards, and you don't get instant rewards in playing 90 minutes where you maybe touch the ball 10 times and it's raining and you have to drive 2 hours to get there and you lose 5-0. It's maybe not that fun each time. So I think we need to consider some formats, like really consider some formats to make sure we actually keep those sports alive.
Yeah, I think there is something to do with the patience of the customer as well. Okay, and we have a few more minutes left, and I would like to cover a very important topic, because we have quite some participants watching us live, and I'm sure that there are some wannabe entrepreneurs or those trying to craft some new solutions and innovate sports tech. What would be your advice for them, trying to get into this vertical that is very promising?
First of all, I think they need to ask themselves where their passion is. What are they really passionate about? I really don't advise anybody to not work on what is their passion, because then they will end up regretting spending their time on it in 10 years, because it probably takes 10 years to build an overnight success, as we say. And so first of all, ask yourself what you want to do and accomplish, and what your purpose is within that. So really make sure you ask yourself that. Other than that, when you've done that, I would encourage people to not spend too much time in presentations on your laptop, but go out and meet real people, trying to figure out the real problems and try to focus on solving real problems. And that doesn't happen in a presentation, in a PowerPoint. That happens in real life and getting to know people.
Execution.
I totally agree, and I think from a DGI perspective in this is that what we can provide here is like real daily problems that needs to be solved, and with access to 6,300 organizations or sports club, there's a lot of problems out there that needs to be solved. And for example, we have sports club who maybe have more than 100,000 people participating on a yearly basis in events, but only 1,500 members. How do we convert like 100,000 participants in events to like paying members in the club? I mean, that's a problem we see within the startup community, and how to think about that like in more like every verticals. So this is also in the sport tech vertical, and these are the things that I think sport tech or wannabe sport techs can actually think about. How do you solve that problem? Because this is not a problem that sports club is the best of solving, especially if this is if they need tech solutions to do that.
Thank you very much, Peter and Peter, and I hope that was like some know-how and inspiration to actually get into this very exciting and fast-growing vertical, especially with all the DGI support coming along. And now we are actually going to move into another round of the finalist introductions and see who they are.
Hi, my name is Thomas. I come from Au Pair.
Thank you very much.
We want to help associations and clubs to connect closer with their members and fans. And we want people to get the opportunity to compare themselves with their sports idols. We are developing a mobile phone app in which you can compare two movements to each other and get a score on how much the motions they resemble. Right now our focus is on football, but soon people everywhere will be more pairing themselves, no matter if they're playing football, tennis, or if they just want to dance.
I'm Morten from Motivo. Most sports clubs in Denmark don't possess the resources to do proper recruitment of members, and the citizens find it difficult to find tryouts they can sign up for. So, we built a platform that makes it easy to find tryouts nearby and sign up with a single click. We've already recruited more than 1,500 members. As an add-on to this platform, we now want to build an ambassadors program that lets the sports clubs activate the network of their existing members.
I'm Morten from Mountain Bike United, all dedicated riders community. Mountain biking isn't an individual sport, but most fun in company with others. You need more than just a bike, you need access to good trails and a peer or an instructor helping you with your riding skills. Less than 10% is member of a mountain bike club, but we provide every rider with access to a community where skills and experience will be shared. This is the perfect place to meet new buddies and be inspired for your next mountain bike adventure. Mountain Bike United is a place where riders meet, plan, explore, share and grow their love for mountain biking.
I'm Christian Birk from Roster Athletics. We are a competition management platform for athletics. Organizing an athletics meeting is complicated and time-consuming. This is why we have created a cloud-based platform that makes it easy for organizers to set up and manage all aspects of a meeting. We also have a fan engagement app where spectators can join the action and follow live results. This is competition management made easy.
Alright, so that's about the time. We just virtually met all the shortlisted finalists and we are going to the most exciting part of this live stream event, announcing the winning teams. And to do so, to introduce the first winner, I have Peter, who joined me here at the studio again. Peter Holm, again, co-founder and the CEO of Tonser and the jury member who has been participating in the morning pitch sessions to hear everything about those companies. So Peter, we are looking forward to hear about the first winning team.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Before we start the announcement, I would like to just first of all congratulate DGI on the event for today. It's really been a pleasure to be part of the jury and see the fantastic ideas, concepts, and new sports tech entrepreneurs. I'm personally very inspired from today, and also the fact that I had now the honor of handing out the first grant. And let's start with the big one. Let's start with actually handing out 500,000 Danish kroner to, for me, a really exciting company, passionate entrepreneurs that in their field are, like myself, super excited about what they do. They work from passion. They are within a vertical community. They have great traction, great results so far. And maybe above anything, from today also really creating a vertical within the DGI universe, and by that empowering more Danish people and athletes to live out the sport and also improve. So I would like to congratulate with 500,000 Danish kroner, Mountain Bike United. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations, guys. It was a pleasure learning about you today. I'm not a mountain bike rider, but I probably need to be. So I can use your product and learn from you guys. As I also said in the call today, great product, great UI, really can feel the passion. So maybe now just a question for you guys. How are you expecting to get the most out of this DGI Impact grant? Hey, sorry, we are apparently having some sound problems. I thought it was only me who couldn't hear. So I was just nodding here away like an idiot. Okay. We will we'll continue in a second, but again, looking forward to see the guys and hear how they want to deploy the DGI Impact grant that they just got awarded.
Want to share your excitement and then that little technical issue.
Yeah, it was meant to happen, right? This year,
Of course.
like, is there anything working this year? So
The
I guess
year
that's
of
okay.
unplanned and unknowns.
That's the thing. Well, we are entrepreneurs here. We need to adapt to situations, and I'm sure we'll be back up in a second. But yeah, you can expect anything, and maybe that's also a learning for all of us and the entrepreneurs today. Don't take anything for granted.
Absolutely, and I think it's still like a great gap for innovation when it comes to live stream solutions and technology and tools for connecting online.
Here we go, guys. Maybe, can you say something?
And we can't hear them, so we will try to reconnect them a little bit later, but again, like a massive round of virtual applause to the winning team. And are we ready to then move to the second winner announcement? Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mom.
So for the second winning team introduction, I would like to invite on the stage again Peter, who you already met on the panel. Peter, and the honor is yours to introduce the second winning team.
Thank you very much. This is so exciting. I'm actually been the user of this solution for I think half a year last year, and I'm very glad to say that I am convinced that this solution would make a huge difference for more than 300 sports clubs in Denmark and more than maybe 12 to 13,000 on a daily basis exercising their sports. I'm very happy to announce that we will give out a grant of 300,000 Danish kroner to Roster. So congratulations, Roster. We will be looking very much forward to work with you in the year to come to actually see that you can fulfill all your plans with Denmark as the country where you can test stuff, and we will help you all the most that we can. So big congratulations to Roster for this. And I think it's
thank you very much.
Okay, you're on sound great. What do you expect of this? What do you want to do with this grant?
First of all, I want to thank you. It's fantastic news. I'm honored, and I want to say thanks on behalf of the entire team. Working with DGI has a huge impact on alleviating some, let's say, COVID-19 inflicted financial stress on the clubs in Denmark. But then also there are big opportunities in working together, especially on the school level and the youth level. So this is fantastic and very happy. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. You are in California right now, so this must be like late night for you. So
it's early morning now.
It's early morning, okay.
A long night. Yeah.
Okay, long night. Anyway, once again, a big congratulations to you guys. I'm be looking forward to working with you on this solution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Peter. Congratulations again to the second winning team. And now the tension is growing here in the studio because we have a couple of more winners to be announced. And for the third winning team, I would like to welcome here on stage the jury member, Cecilia Hulten, who is angel investor and the CFO at CBioAS. And she is going to tell who is the third lucky team.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much to DGI and also all the startups that have been part of this today. It's been a great honor to be part of this jury. So the next one up is someone that will bring the membership recruitment to a new level. And they do that by addressing a real challenge and will bring, they will help clubs, organizations to activate and get more members on board. They already have a proven track record, and now they will bring a new next generation, a digital ambassador program. So the next winner is up for 500,000 Danish kroner, and that's Motivo. So big hand for them.
We can see their excited faces.
Excellent. We are delighted, and we are convinced that you will bring a lot of new members into the DGI family. And the question for you is now, what will you get out of the collaboration with DGI for this coming year?
Next startup? The next startup. Are you on mute? That's the phrase of 2020.
We can't hear you.
And we would love to hear your excitement.
Yes.
I think they're experiencing some sound issues as well. Oh well.
Okay.
Shall we go ahead with the next one? Cecilia, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And here we are with the announcement of the fourth winning team. And to do so, I would like to invite another jury member who has been participating in the pitching sessions the whole morning. And I would like to welcome on stage Nikolai Hoyo, who is interim CEO at Paneo AS. Nikolai, welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
So tell us a bit more. Who is that fourth winning team?
So I think we already mentioned a little bit about technology and how technology is distracting us. As a parent, I know that also about kids, how they like their devices as much as we do. So I don't think they'll go away. So I think what we need to really consider is how we're going to use such technology to make sure that they still get the exercise, also from a DGI perspective. So we're very happy to announce a company that actually can help that happen. And I can hear something screaming there. Yeah. So I'd like to announce that the next winner for 200,000 krona is IR Squad. So thanks a lot, and congratulations, guys. So you're already yelling. So what would you like to use that collaboration and money for?
Yeah, well, first of all, we think we've done a good job making an app for the private user, but we've come to learn from our first customers that there is a way to go before you can really easily use Evotech for a sports association. So looking forward to working on the app together with DGI to make it really easy and a convenient way to do real-life gaming. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. And Nikolai, thank you very much for this exciting announcement.
Thank you.
And now, before we go into the closing remarks, I will invite Jakob from DGI to join me here at the studio again. And once again, guys, we experienced some small technical hiccups. It's 2020. Everyone is practicing going digital and online. That's still like an area for lots of new solutions. But we are excited that all the teams at least could participate and we could see their faces. So once again, thank you very much for this day, especially to all the participants, all the jury who spent the whole day with us here, all the startups who did so much preparation with their applications, preparing their business plans and pitches to the jury members and investors. And of course, to everyone who is following what DGI is doing, Talent Garden is doing, and is rooting for the sports tech community to grow and nourish. And now, Jakob, I would like to give you a closing remark word.
Thank you. I want to say to all the chosen startups that we're really, really, really psyched about this, and of course a huge congratulations. We're really looking forward to collaborating with you and of course creating as many wins as possible. To the finalists who weren't chosen, believe me, this was no easy decision. It's been a tough day. It's been a tough screening process all the way through. I want to remind you of something. We got 136 really inspiring applications. You were in the top 9. Even though we might not have chosen you for this round, we see a huge potential in you. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that you'll go on to achieve immense success and really create value for so many people within sports. And hopefully with us as a partner in the future. A short final note, if you still haven't gotten enough of sports innovations, we're actually co-organizing another pitching event in just 5 days. November 25th at 3 o'clock Danish time, in collaboration with DIF Innovation Lab, our good colleagues, and DI Danish Industry and Nordic Sports Tech and Sports Lab Copenhagen. We're going to do a Nordic Sports Innovation Challenge. We already have quite a lot of applicants for it. And this challenge is going to qualify one person to join the largest international sports tech event held in Paris in February. So this is the qualifying event for the Nordic startups on November 25. And we'll, of course, send you a link for further information about this. And that's more or less it from me. So I just want to say thanks for watching and stay active.
Jakob, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, online and here at the studio, the jury members, startups, all the collaborators, Talent Garden and DGI teams, for making this happen. And then just to close it, so let's continue working hard on making Denmark the most active nation in the world. Have a lovely weekend.